Welcome back to part 4 of the narrative of Mary Prince, an ancestor who was born in Bermuda, an enslaved woman. I'll begin. We were nearly 4 weeks on the voyage, which was unusually long. Sometimes we had a light breeze, sometimes a great calm, and the ship made no way, so that our provisions and water ran very low, and we were put upon short allowance. I should almost have been starved had it not been for the kindness of a black man called Anthony and his wife, who had brought their own victuals or food and shared them with me. When we went ashore at the Grand Quay, the captain sent me to the house of my new master, Mr. D, to whom Captain I had sold me. Grand Quay is a small town with upon a sandbank. The house is low and built of wood. Such was my new master's. The first person I saw on my arrival was Mr. D, a stout, sulky-looking man, who carried me through the hall to show me to his wife and children. Next day I was put up by the vendue or auction master to know how much I was worth, and I was valued at £100 currency, an increase in her value from the last time she was sold. She was about 17. My new master was one of the owners or holders of the salt pond, and he received a certain sum for every enslaved person that worked upon his premises, whether they were young or old. This sum was allowed him out of the profits arising from the salt works. I was immediately sent to work in the salt water with the rest of the enslaved. This work was perfectly new to me. I was given a half barrel and a shovel and had to stand up to my knees in water from 4 o'clock in the morning till 9, when we were given some Indian corn boiled in water, which we were obliged to swallow as fast as we could, for fear the rain would come and melt the salt. We were then called again to our task and worked through the heat of the day, the sun flaming up on our heads like fire, and the raising salt blisters in those parts which were not completely covered. Our feet and legs from standing in the salt water for so many hours soon became full of dreadful boils, which eat down into some cases the very bones, afflicting the sufferers with great torment. We came home at 12, ate some corn soup called blali as fast as we could, and went back to our employment till dark at night. We then shoveled up the salt into large heaps and went down to the sea, where we washed the pickle from our limbs and cleaned the barrows and shovels from the salt. When we returned to the house, our master gave us each allowance of raw Indian corn, which we pounded in a mortar and boiled in water for supper. We slept in a long shed divided into narrow slips, like the stalls used for cattle. Boards fixed upon stakes driven into the ground, without mat or covering, were our only beds. On Sundays, after we had washed the salt bags and done other work required of us, we went into the bush and cut the long, soft grass, of which we made trusses for our legs and feet to rest upon, for they were so full of salt boils that we could get no rest lying upon the bare board. Though we worked from morning till night, there was no satisfying Mr. D. I hoped when I left Captain I that I should have been better off, but I found it was but going from one butcher to another. There was this difference between them. My former master used to beat me while raging and foaming with passion. Mr. D was usually quite calm. He would stand by and give orders for an enslaved to be cruelly whipped and assist in the punishment without moving a muscle of his face, walking about and taking snuff with the greatest composure. Nothing could touch his hard heart, neither sighs nor tears nor prayers nor streaming blood. He was deaf to our cries and careless of our sufferings. Mr. Diaz often stripped me naked, hung me up by the wrists, and beat me with a cow skin with his own hands till my body was raw with gashes. Yet there was nothing very remarkable in this, for it might serve as a sample of the common usage of the enslaved on this horrible island. Owing to the boils in my feet, I was unable to wheel the barrow fast through the sand, which got into the sores and made me stumble at every step. And my master, having no pity for my suffering from this cause, rendered them far more intolerable by chastising me for not being able to move so fast as he wished me. Another of my employment was to row a little way out from the shore in a boat and dive for large stones to build a wall around my master's house. This was very hard work, and the great waves breaking over us continually made us often so giddy that we lost our footing and were in danger of being drowned. Poor me, my tasks were never ending. Sick or well, it was work, work, work. After the diving season was over, we were sent to South Creek with large bills to cut up mangoes to burn lime with. Whilst one party of slaves were thus employed, another were sent to the other side of the island to break up coral out of the sea. And when we were ill, let our complaints be what it might, the only medicine given to us was a great bowl of hot salt water with salt mixed with it, which made us very sick. If we could not keep up with the rest of the gang of the enslaved, we were put in the stocks and severely flogged the next morning. Yet not the less, our master expected that we had thus kept up from our rest, our limbs rendered stiff and sore with ill usage, that we should still go through the ordinary task of the day all the same. Sometimes we had to work all night, measuring salt to load a vessel, or turning a machine to draw water out of the sea for the salt making. Then we had no sleep, no rest, but were forced to work as fast as we could and go on again all next day, the same as usual. Work, work, work. Oh, that Turk's island was a horrible place. The people in England, I'm sure, have never found out what is carried on here. Cruel, horrible place. I'm going to stop here, but we had a lot, and we normally think of enslaved people only working in sugarcane and cotton, because those were the most predominant things, but we're seeing in these less plantation-like setting that there's all kinds of work. And as a person who was brought up in the Caribbean and liked to go to the sea to swim and stuff and spend the day, it's the worst feeling. It's fun in the water, but when you're out and it's caked on your skin and you're not properly washed off, it takes days to get that kind of sand off your body, and your skin feels dry and raw, and the hot sun. There are times when I go to the beach and I overdo it, and when I get home, my family, they'll get like aloe vera because they have to cover my whole body in it, because I love to be in the water, but then I overdo it. But yeah, and that's just one little afternoon at the beach or one day, right? And this is just a daily. It's like she was being pickled, they were being marinated, they were just soaking in salt. It's horrible. It's horrible, but her story survived so that we are able to have it now, and for we to see how they suffered and how they persevered. So thanks for listening.